Good. Good morning, guys. I'm just here this morning with a guest on the show. We've got Lindy Chen. She's a lady that's moved to Australia over the last few years, and she's started a basically outsourcing to China business. She's connecting with a lot of developers and builders and helping them reduce their cost. And I think she's also been in the process of doing some of her own developments as well. So yeah, part of the show is, really interviewing, inspiring people and what they're doing and hearing about what they're up to. So, yeah, do you want to introduce yourself, Lindsay, and just briefly tell us about what you're up to at the moment?
Yeah, thank you for Daniel invite me come here, and it's my pleasure to share my journey with you. I came to Australia in year 2002, and because of my ex-boyfriend. Yes, and it's a love story, and I followed him. We've been together for 7 years at that time, and then I discovered he had affair.
Oh,
So we broke up. And however, I was crying on the Queen Street Mall, and crying until a few months later, I asked myself, Lindy, how long do you want to really crying for? Is 6 months enough? And enough is enough. So I decided to step up and really do something different. So that's how I started a business called China Direct Sourcing.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And and how long has the business been operating for?
Wow. Thank you. Right now, in year 2025, the business will be established for nearly 20 years.
Oh, wow, wow, that's impressive. So you've been going for 20 years. So it was 20 years ago when you broke up with your boyfriend, and that was sort of a moment in your life where you said, I need to change. I need to do something. I need to do something for myself, and move forward in life, and that's sort of part of the journey. So um,
Exactly. At the time when I started the business, the motive is revenge.
revenge, yeah.
Yeah, is to make more money than he does and made him regret.
Oh, okay, okay. And as that and is that that's something you've done? Has he been regretful?
Sure,
Or not
that
too keen?
really worked.
Yeah,
Energy from revenge. And so the year one is all about, um, like make more money than he does. And I did. Okay. Within 3 years. And then I grow the business from zero to $1 million. And
beautiful.
not only that, of course he regret. And but anyhow, the past is the past. I moved on, and now I have a beautiful husband. I have two beautiful kids, and the business is running now. Over I have 10 people working for me between China and Australia, and we became the official partner of Canton Fair, official partner of Alibaba. We have won, $200 million procurement contract. And this year in April, I brought nearly 35 builders and developers went to China on Canton Fair and the China buying trip.
Wow, that's really cool. That's great. And you know what? That's something I've always wanted to do myself. Like I've seen different people going over there and outsourcing products and different things like that. And to have someone that you can be connected with and someone who can sort of, I guess, guide you and has Australian knowledge but also Chinese knowledge that would be great. So how old were you when you migrated to Australia, if you don't mind me asking?
I migrated to Australia since the year 2002, and
Yep.
that was 23 years ago.
Yep.
And at that time, it was all about him. You know, um, I was in Adelaide, I was in Melbourne, I was in Sydney until 2005. I settled in Brisbane.
Okay.
And yeah, when I first started the business, it's full of challenge. I can't
Mm,
even afford a laptop. At the time of separation, I was really alone by myself. Uh,
mm,
I have no family, no friends. I just moved to Brisbane less than 3 months at that time. I have
Mm,
no classmates and I have no nothing.
mm,
So to start a business is very challenging. And however, I didn't give up.
yep,
And then what I did was I used the resources I can find. I go to public library
yep,
to register myself the name on the library's computer because
mm,
each computer I can use 15 minutes to check email. So I register the full computer in a row. And then I pay 20 cents per page in internet cafe and to print out my proposal and
mm.
I buy my client a cup of coffee for $3. So literally within a day, $10 is enough for me to run business meeting, to get it printed out and write the email, prepare the research, get it done. It's very resourceful.
I love the grit. I love the challenge. And I think like really true entrepreneurship, like maybe not true entrepreneurship, but when you got your back against the wall, you don't have money, you don't have a lot of resources. That's when your brain starts thinking and you start, you're really problem solving. How can I do it? How can I get access to the internet? And those, moments, it really grows you. So let's talk a little bit about, how it started in the first sort of few years and some of the products that you were, helping people to connect with. Because, personally, you think about China and outsourcing and different things like that. You think about clothing and different things like that. But I guess, well, they make pretty much everything over there. So what was some of the first, people and customers and some of the first, relationships that you were able to, build in the first, establishing years?
Yeah, one of my really first customer, he is actually a one-man show and he has a business in his garage and he want to buy the front end loader from China and he
Yeah.
want to sell it in Australia.
Yep.
So, that was his dream. So in the end, I help him to research probably more than 30 supplier in the category. And then I summarized all of them. Then I shortlisted probably, 8 or 10 supplier for him to visit. So we arranged a trip to China afterwards. I took him to visit, every single of those shortlisted supplier. Afterwards, we shortlisted like, 2 or 3 supplier to do the final negotiation. And because at that time, the Chinese supplier hasn't even really adapted the Australian standard yet.
Yep.
And so it took like a couple of years. We fine-tuned. Let's say, for instance, the brake need to meet Australian standard. For
Yep.
instance, the glasses need to be non-shattered. And,
Yep.
the safety and even the manual have to be English written. So all of those take efforts. However, all the efforts and has been paid off. And this particular customer of mine, and he has now grown the business to multi-million dollar business. He has 40 distributor all over Australia.
Wow.
And so this is a very inspirational story.
Yep.
And also I have another customer who actually manufactured a particular what we call the bag. Like it's like a magnetic bag. And then you put under your belt when you're running, so you don't need to have extra belt. So for
Okay.
that particular pocket, and it's called what is called? They have a particular name. So anyhow, that particular bag has been widely used, accepted. We started helping them from when they were very young, when they like
Mm.
was a little seed, and but now they supply to all over Australia, and they really growed from zero to multi-million dollar business. And then we also, let's say, for instance, our customer have the perfume oil, and then picnic season. And then, all of those are from seed to multi-million dollar business. Now have 471 distributor all
Mm.
over in Australia. So those are the things, I'm very proud of because we can see we helped them from literally a concept and
Yep.
then to source the products from China, manufacturing in China, then grow it into a multi-million dollar business.
Yeah, that's very impressive. So let's say hypothetically I come up with a business idea and I want to reach out to yourself. and we want to sort of collaborate together. Like, how does that work for your customers? Is it like a consultancy package, or is it sort of different packages depending on, what the customer is looking for? Because I guess like not everyone that comes to you is going to potentially follow through. So obviously you'd have to charge some sort of consultancy fee per hour, or I don't know, how does that sort of work?
Well, it depends on your complexity of your particular project.
Yep.
We do project as a different stages. Like
Okay.
stage one is we call the research and tender. So based on your particular idea, depends on complexity of the project. We estimate, like, your product specification, get it ready. We give you a product specification form. You send us some photos, some design, some idea. Then we look at it, and then we give you a quote says, okay, based on the like research intender, we think the project is going to be such, and we charge a fee for service. Okay,
Okay.
and then that's stage one research intender.
Yep.
And then after, for stage one research and tender, we do like contact more than 30 supply in the category. We organize the supplier to quote on your projects. We do the comparison. We do supply summary report, quote comparison report, and landed cost analysis, and then present you with all those report. And then we summarize into a supplier shortlist, a report. Okay, and then we have a stage one completion meeting with you, and it says, right, Daniel, your project now stage one has been completed, and are you happy with that? And then we move on to the second stage, which is making the sample.
Okay.
So with one, two, three supplier, depends on the strategy. We may do the sample from one to three supplier, and one round, two rounds, three rounds until you're 85% happy with the results. We move to stage 2B, which is purchase to the negotiation. In the purchase to the negotiation, we basically go through terms of payment, quality control system, and also packaging requirements, and then payment terms, and then quality control, and all of that. And once that is done, we move to the production and the delivery management. So literally, then we monitor the production schedule and make sure it meets your requirement and get it ready. Then we organize the shipping, organize the delivery, and deliver to your warehouse.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. No, that sounds really impressive. But I mean, hypothetically, say someone wanted to more do a like a drop ship model, or something where they wanted to meet up with factories and have your expertise to sort of line up the missing dots that they don't know. Would that be possible as well? Is that part of your business model, or is that something you stay away from?
Absolutely, for meetup, no problem. Some of our customers never been to China, they can still do business with Chinese supplier. Some
Yep.
of the people want to see and feel touch, that's okay. So usually either after stage one, and some of my client will have a trip to China, visited the shortlisted supplier, and then finalize one supplier to do the sampling. Or some of my customer go to stage three, which is at the end of the production and before the shipping, they go meet the factory and see the final product. So either way, it's okay, depends on customer situation.
But
However, come to the drop shipping, I
yep.
have a little bit different view on this.
Okay.
Okay. So for the drop shipping, especially for the international drop shipping, I personally do not recommend it.
Okay. Okay.
And even though it sounds fabulous, like, many of the people advocate for drop shipping says, oh, you don't need to have a warehouse, you only, get the supply, ship the products you needed, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
However, one thing I actually wrote a particular comparison about why don't I recommend drop shipping. I write an essay about it.
Yep.
If you are interested, I can send you that particular document. But there are top three reasons I don't recommend drop shipping. So
Yep.
number one, you consider what is the difference between you and the Chinese supplier.
Yep.
So, and then that's number one. The difference are you are local, they are in China. You know your market. They
Yep.
don't. And so therefore, your advantage is you own your market.
Yep.
Therefore, you own your customer. So therefore, you can charge what you charge, and you only pay the Chinese supplier $1. You charge your client for $5.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha.
However, if you start the drop shipping, the first few order is okay. You can still charge you $5. But after a year or two, you did all your marketing, but your customers' details has all been given to your supplier.
Yeah, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. So it's sort of something you don't recommend. So hypothetically, this is something I've sort of been interested in the past. Like, say I wanted to start a hat company, like selling hats, and I come to you and I go, Lindy, I want to sell hats. I want to start a small hat company, I guess, to start with. Obviously, I don't have $1 million. I'm just trying to start out and I'm trying to start the pieces together. Like, what would be your, like, I'm not asking for a specific quote, but like, what price range are we talking with to work with someone like yourself to help, join the dots?
Okay, so normally before you start the hats company, first of all, I would ask you, don't just pick any particular products. Ask what are you good at it.
Okay.
So in Australia, what's your connection? What you good at it? What you can sell the most to? What's
Mm,
your inner connection? If you can have a, let's say, for example, if you are the captain of a particular sports club,
mm,
or if you have a connection with many school sports team, and you can sell those sell those hats, like, in a large volume, yes, those business is good for you.
mm,
But if you have no connection, you don't even know how to sell the hats, what's the point? What's make you different than any other people?
mm.
The
Well,
key
I
thing,
guess, I guess you would
yeah.
you would have to start off with finding a supplier and then, doing, Google ads or SEO and different things like that. Nah, don't think that'll work.
No, I don't recommend you start that way. People's often be misleading by thinking, oh, there is a cheap product. I just buy the cheap and sell the cheap. And then, in that way, you have no competitive advantage. The key thing, many times my customer coming to me and looking for ways to selling online. I always ask them, look at what you have. What you're good at it, what you're passionate about. Some customer is very good at, running the bicycle, then that's fine. And then she designed the sportswear, active wear for bike people, for bike women. Then
Yep.
that's great because she running the bicycle. She have a large bike community, right? They
Yep.
in their biking group. She probably have 200 to 300 people. So all
Yep.
of a sudden she knows the pinpoint. So when she designed the active wear and designed for the bike women, it's beautiful, it's active, it is practical. And then she knows her target market. And therefore, when she promoted, it will be widely accepted,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And then give you example, another one customer is he is doing all the socks. The socks for the souvenir used for athlete in UK. And because he has large database of all the athletes, and
Mm,
so therefore he's paying $30 in Australia to make it. And then he come to us, it probably only cost $4 or $5 in China. Then he saw the market difference. He already have the client base, and then that's doable.
okay. Okay. So what you're saying is potentially maybe even if you were going to sell hats, you'd get a bit happening first, maybe potentially get it off the ground, get some. You could even make it in Australia to start, and then if you've got something that's actually working, then maybe come to see yourself. Yeah.
Exactly right. Spot on, Daniel. It's like, not just, put your head or thinking I'm doing this and then make it happen. It's actually you do your homework first, okay? Knowing what works for you. In the end, China direct sourcing myself, our vehicle, our resources to help client be successful. but we can be good at for anything about the purchasing, negotiation with supplier, finding the supplier, control the quality, and deliver to your warehouse. However, the moment it come to your warehouse, how to find the right customer and then market your particular products and find your target customer and talking to them. It's something, the homework, you need to do that beforehand.
Yeah, I gotcha. So it's sort of more for, semi-established businesses would be more, when they're already potentially making a product or selling, in Australia, and then to bring their costs down, they could come see yourself or someone like yourself and potentially go down that road. So let's talk about,
Yes,
yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was going to
Oh,
say, let's talk
it,
about
it, it's yes, usually it's for B2B, but also for anyone who want to start a business, but also need to have a little bit of planning beforehand.
makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing with the property developers group and the builders and what you've been doing with those guys.
Yeah, we recently took many builders and the developers went to China. And giving you example, right? For instance, for the builder, for instance, he quote you $1 million to build your house, right? Remember three number. First number is 15%, which is normally builder would have 15% as a gross profit. Okay. The number two is about 45%. The builder probably will spend about 45% on the labor cost. And then the third number would be 40%. That would be the construction material. So that would be 400K. Out of the 400K, normally when we take you a trip to China, we can save you 40% of the 400K. That'd be 160,000. So simply for a builder, when they
Sorry,
okay.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they coming to literally, go to take one action, which is going with us to for a trip to China, we can assist them double their gross profit from 150K to 310K. As simple as that.
So the builders are they guys that are like potentially going over there getting all the stuff for one project at a time on one shipment, or are they like having a bit of like a warehouse or a yard somewhere and keeping materials for multiple projects? How is that sort of working?
Well, generally to say, for us, we can take them for a trip to China. Let's say, for instance, one of my customer, Letitia and Christina, they build one house. The whole house is in Gold Coast, right? And then we took them a trip to China for 5 days. Afterwards, everything they need for their house, all loaded, coordinated into one container.
Wow.
And then we delivered to their site, and they just finished the, installation, construction, everything. It looks stunning.
So you're talking tiles, cement, gyprock, timber, everything's all in one container. Is
They
that right?
bought literally aluminum door, aluminum window, the in front door, the garage door, the tile, the kitchen, the bathroom, the laundry, and then the tableware, the chandelier, the
Wow.
furniture, everything.
Wow. So that's impressive. That's really, really good. I mean, so if you're a builder and you can get, one container to come, literally dump it on the site, you've got it all there. You're talking a 40-foot container, I imagine, because it'd be too much for a 20-foot. Is that right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
organized. We organized the 40-foot container for them,
So
and so her budget was $250,000 the time
yep.
when they went to China. We helped them save the $120,000.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great. So and I imagine for something like that, it would probably be, 50, 60 different suppliers, would it? Or is it more like only maybe 10 or 15
Probably
suppliers?
20 or 30.
Okay, 20 or 30 suppliers. So how's that gonna look on the China end? Is it one company's gonna drive around and load it all in, or will it'll all gonna go to a certain yard and then they're gonna pack
They organize everything.
they all okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
We organize all the payment. We take you to the market.
Yep.
We first of all, you give us your house plan.
Yep.
Okay, we receive your house plan and we have a look. You give us a list of the products you wanted. Okay, so we review your house plan, we review your list of the products, and then we give you some recommendation. Then we will prepare an itinerary. Okay, and then the itinerary will cover the 95% of the product on your product list. And then we take you to the China market and we go take you to the factory, we take you to the market, you start to place an order, and then we make the payment on your behalf. We arrange the payment, we check the all the supplier, we manage all the supplier after the trip, and then we organize the shipping document, we go organize the Chinese custom, we consolidated the whole container, okay? And we take all the products in the warehouse, arranging the timing. And then we organize the China side fumigation, shipping, consolidation, Chinese custom. Then we organize the Australian side, the custom, the clearance, and organize the delivery, deliver to your site.
Yeah, right. And so you're saying on average you can save about 40%, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so say I was going to buy $1 million worth of building materials in Australia, it's probably going to be 600 bucks, 600,000, and that's all included. That's your fees, that's the delivery, that's everything. You're going to save on average 40%.
Yes.
And
Or even more.
what
Or even
size,
more. Yeah.
maybe more, yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Like, what size projects have you been doing? Because I imagine, like, say it was a $15 million build, and it was, say, I don't know, $5 million worth of products. Yeah, it's probably going to be more the higher you go, the bigger the savings, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Even just the one house is good
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Gotcha. So how many builds have you guys done so far? Like packaged in a container? Is that just the one so far, or have you done a few so far?
We've been in business for 20 years, a lot. Okay.
A lot.
Right
Okay.
now, yes, we have probably 40 builders buying from China.
Yeah. Right.
And yes, and we have every single week we have builder going to China and we take them to different market. And so last month I took 35. In October I probably will take another 60. So we have individual group and we have
Yeah.
a large group. So really depends on, each individual's needs as well. If your project is ready, then it's better you go with the individual group because then you get a individual catered. If you are not ready, you just want to go with the group, then that's fine too. Then
Mm.
we run this trip twice a year. The next Canton Fair tour would be 22nd of October. And you arrive in Guangzhou, you meet us in Guangzhou, and we start the whole trip.
Yeah. Right. That's really cool. And so your business, like, would someone go on your website, book a seat, and then essentially, like, what's the package cost? Is that all right to ask? Do you mind saying that?
Yeah, sure. Depends on what you're looking for.
So if I
We
wanted to
will
do the group tour, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking about building, I'm going to build a house in the next sort of 12 months. I want to come with you guys. Me and my wife, we're gonna come. We just want to explore and just see, what the products are like. And we're not really on the fence, but we're thinking about it. But we just want to come. We want to join you guys. What would be the cost for that?
We need to, let's say, for instance, if you want to build a house, you are ready for it, and we probably would charge a project setup fee plus
Yep.
10% of the cost of goods.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Cool. And
Yeah.
then with the trip, like because you're already involved with you guys, you just buy your own flights and all that sort of stuff. It's you organize that yourself. Is that sort of how? And you just sort of tag along. Is that sort of how it works? Or
Yeah, you pay for the your our China buying trip doesn't include the flight, but
no.
including 5 nights accommodation in China. So we will go to the airport, pick you up, and then take you to the Chinese factory. The Chinese factory is selected according to your product design. So you give us your details of your project, your house plan,
Yep.
and then we will look into that. And then we will say, hey, Daniel, this is the project setup fee. And then you'll sign up a China buying trip application form.
Yep.
And then, we set up a date, agreed with you, suitable for us,
Yep.
and we lock in that date. So literally, then, yeah, your trip literally start from your send application form, and then we start to communicate. We ask millions of questions. You give us your product link, give us your product design, and then, the more the merrier. And usually we suggest that you engage us ASAP. So leave us enough time to discuss your itinerary.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's really cool. That'd be great. Yeah, that's really great. So when's your next trip coming up? Have you just been on one you were saying, or is there one coming up soon?
Yes. So if you want individual trip, we will book you separately. If you want a group trip, then
Yep.
the next one coming up, lead by myself, would be October 22. Okay. So then in that, and literally I will lead the team, and we're arriving on 22nd of October. We will actually attending the Canton Fair, and then the world's largest trade fair. Not only that, we will actually also see the Shenzhen government will organize the event for us, and Canton Fair will organize the VIP event for us, and so do Foshan government. So then we will see some of the supplier factory as well. It's going to be really impressive trip. Our last trip, 35 builders and developers went, and I can send you the footage as well. You can see they're so
Yeah, that'd be good.
excited. They bought many things. We've been even interviewed by CCTV.
Yeah, yeah, you were saying that. That's how does that work? Because it's the CCTV everywhere over there, is it? Or
No, the CCTV is more like a Channel 7 or Channel 9 in Australia.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a national TV. And
Oh,
then they
cool.
came to us. Yeah, they interviewed us. And it's then on broadcasting the national TV, national news. And so, compared to our VIP, if you are a normal customer, you line in the Canton Fair queue, you're waiting for the buyer's badge for 2 or 3 hours. But
Wow.
as our VIP, your buyer's badge delivered to the hotel.
Yeah, right. No, that'd be handy. That'd be great. So your next trip's coming up in October, and is there a cap on the number of like builders or developers that you would take, or do you just yeah?
Yeah.
What?
So generally to say, we will look into your project. If you are interested, we can send you the Canton Fair application form,
Yep.
and then you can either join that, or you can either join with your China buying trip. And either way, you can get, the whole trip with us.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that's really cool. No, well, thanks a lot for coming on today and like sharing your story and your business with us. That's really inspiring stuff. Really great to chat with you. Is there any other sort of comments or anything you'd like to say as we're sort of wrapping it up?
Well, thank you, Daniel, for the opportunity and to share this exciting news with you and with your audience. I'm very grateful. And what I want to say is that, we are here to make your journey and dealing with China easier and better, resourceful and profitable. So we are looking to add value to your particular projects. If you felt we can be of use to you, please feel free to contact us.
Yeah, no, that's great. What we'll do is we'll leave a link in the description for your business and your business card and those types of things, and yeah, we'll do that for sure, and maybe in the future we'll be able to do something together too. Because I've always thought that would be great to be able to outsource from China, and who knows what the future will hold. But no, thanks a lot for coming on, and we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Lindy. See you soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much. Bye, Daniel.
Take care. Bye bye.